There you are. We've been waiting for you. These men going out and doing what you couldn't, what you wouldn't, what you were too afraid to, handling the beasts, the monsters in the night, the things under your bed, in your closet. This is what they were here to do. I guess now that you're here, you might as well watch. So, guys, this is episode 5. I'm calling this Blood in the Wind. Um, most of you guys have had a Derek will not be playing today. He's super effing tired, but he should be back next week. What do you call it? No, I should be like working men busting our butts while you're sitting at home watching people play games online. Um, that would be a bit too far. But you guys had an interesting week on hunter.net, which, by the way, guys, is my private Discord that these guys, well, a private room in my semi-private Discord that has a bunch of different people interacting with any of these guys who choose to, either in public for all of them to see or in private and them to report back like the telephone game. And let's see what kind of misinformation they can get. Kurt, would you like to start?
Bloody hell. There we go. There we go. Sorry. Yes. Well, we've been digging into quite a few things. The wake. What was it? The wake Wakefield
new there.
Drinker Wake.
Drinker Wake. That's the one. Yes. We've managed to get a bit of info about that on there. It's a little bit cryptic. Well, for starters, it seems like wherever this sort of activity's been happening before, we've been getting some cult-like behavior. Like maybe the people that are influenced by it aren't involuntarily being influenced. Like they're actually giving into this creature and joining it in some fashion, which is a little bit terrifying.
Vampire thing that you killed?
Yeah. Looking into that. Ken, help me out here, buddy.
It sounds as if there was a lot going on. So these files were archived on HunterNet, and it seems like HunterNet was wiped back around 2007. So
Late
a lot of
2007,
so a lot of information was missing, and it seems that some of the archive threads, that sort of information.
Mind you, the characters are playing on the current date, but in 2013, which is within a year after Hurricane Katrina, which wiped out the Jersey Shore and a lot more. Go on, Ken.
So it seems that a lot of the information that was lost, we were told by someone that if it's reposted, it seems to be taken right back down, and that there was a risk of maybe a risk to their own health if they were to post this information. But we did have a source that posted some information. They mentioned that some of the people that were caught up in the wake, it was almost like they were in a trance-like state. We've not heard of ghouls, but they said they weren't ghouls. They were more like familiars. Whatever that is. I need to do more research. But these people seem to be like in a daze or trance, kind of just staring off into nothing, had lost time. And that kind of coincides with what we saw with our drinker. And it seems like whatever this phenomenon is, it wasn't entirely passive. It's almost like looking into the abyss. When you look into the abyss, it looks back into you. One person mentioned that they had lost 42 minutes with no memory, no movement, just completely lost. There were also reports that these issues with the wake spiked prior to the Club Abyss incident. And that was kind of interesting because obviously the situation with Club Abyss took a heavy toll on the hunters. It sounds like with it, Club Abyss was not a reaction to the wake, but more like a call. The drinkers didn't run, they converged on that location. And it almost seemed like they were learning from the experience. And there were some patterns, some phrases, sigils, were what have you, were decrypted from the information. The phrases resonant birthright,
Hmm.
shepherd made ash, and no witness, no echo. It doesn't necessarily paint the whole picture of what happened, but it kind of shows that these creatures are changing, evolving. They're not set in their ways, that, you know, whatever outside influences there are, they're changing and adapting to it. Anything else you want to add to that, Kurt?
Uh, uh, yeah, no, just the one of the comments said that the wake isn't residual; it's predictive. It it seems like they might be not just learning, but learning to predict our actions.
Well, and that makes sense. If those like Apex were leading a force of hunters and organizing them, it's possible that they became predictable. They were using regimented tactics, and as such, you know, if they were doing kind of like we talked about, a MMO type raid on a facility, then eventually their raid tactics may have become known to the paranormal, and with such, they learn to counteract it.
So, thoughts, gentlemen?
Was Abyss the first?
No, they also mentioned uh the Say Revel incident.
What's that, Conrad?
Hmm.
I was gonna say it's pronounced Sayreville, but
Sayreville.
that's okay.
I'm sorry, I'm foreign. I don't always pronounce everything quite right.
What's that, Conrad?
The Sayreville incident?
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
Well,
I
what's
haven't
Sayreville?
gotten any. Sayreville is a part of New Jersey where Club Abyss, I believe, is located.
Right.
I want you guys to
Now, I
understand
admit,
how this is happening. Just I'm going to give you this one. I won't give you more because I want the guys at home especially to understand what I'm really doing with this. So the Club Abyss incident. Somebody else doesn't want to call it Club Abyss in public, so he calls it the Sayreville incident instead. Could they be the same incident? Was there a club that was hit before that? Does anybody remember previous stuff that happened, last week or the week before from the
Oh, what
private
was it?
messages and so on and so forth?
Club Pandemonium or Pandorum? There was a previous incident or raid before Abyss. Yes, I'm trying to recall now. It was something beginning with P. It was like maybe Paradise. I
Paradise.
can't remember. Maybe Paradise. Maybe Paradise. I
Paradise.
can't remember. Yeah. But yes, no, that's not. The Abyss wasn't the first incident. It was the second big raid. I think that if I'm recalling correctly, that Apex instigated. Um, I think it's what got people to rally around him for the Abyss incident. Of course, I might be misinterpreting things, but that's what it seemed like to me.
I had been speaking with Ken. It might be worth at least checking out those locations. I mean, this was 2007 that these incidents occurred. It might be worth it in 2013. They might be under new ownership. They might, you know, the any resemblance of or traces of the supernatural might be completely gone. But it might
And
be
we
worth at least going to the clubs
Well, I guess I
as
don't know.
club goers
and we
because they
did
still exist.
discuss it may be worth pulling files, looking at the records, the news reports, even though those aren't going to have maybe an accurate history of what happened. They may give us an idea of, you know, police were called out, so many bodies were found, that sort of situation.
It might be worth asking Jerry if he can tap one of his police friends to see if they actually have any reports of that still exist from those incidents from back in 2007, to see if there's anything that might have been they tried to like maybe cover it up as, oh, maybe there was just a bar fight or it was called something else, but we're knowing from the deep dive it was actually more to what it might be being claimed, because then that'll also cue you in on how corrupt the police department is, that might have been in charge of investigating or covering up the incidents.
And I think that's an excellent point too. As Mousetrap said, be careful what you hunt sometimes, or some things hunt back with a badge and a smile. So, it's a fair consideration that the police department could be infiltrated as well.
If I may take this opportunity to step in, gentlemen, I have been, to a small degree, making my presence known on the message boards. And curiously enough, I've had a couple of responses from the aforementioned Mousetrap 629. Whilst my initial inquiries were more with regards to the Red Moon and how this pertains to my employer, there are some troubling things that Mousetrap has come back with. Initially, I noted that he was more open to discussing things with me if I was a new hunter, to the point of saying that if I wasn't new on the message boards or new to this life, not to bother replying to it. With regards to my main point of inquiry, the Red Moon, his response to this was to say that it's not something anyone has seen, or at least not yet, and that his mother used to say that it's a sign, not a sky thing. It's said that if it ever shows, it means the bloodline's broken and the spirit guarding it is gone. Totem shattered, final days. He
Okay,
says,
that's not ominous at all.
He says, old stories older than you or I. She said that it was when the ones hiding in the skin of men stop hiding.
Okay.
I did have a further response to a subsequent message, which I find interesting, in part of which in his original message, he made reference to something called Judas killers. Now, this was a bit of a confusion to me. I didn't understand what he meant. To my inquiry about it, he responded that Judas killers don't advertise. You've probably read one already. They talk real sweet about tactics and efficiency and how necessary losses made us stronger. Ask about Club Abyss in the open and see who comes running to lecture. That's Apex's cult. charismatic bastard with blood on every word.
Okay.
See, when
I'd
I
noticed.
interpreted that as possibly hunters hunting other hunters, but it could be a
Same.
similar thing.
But if they are Apex's cult, aka Club Abyss, that checks out kind of too, because it sounds like after Club Abyss, that's when the Judas Hunters came out and blood was shed and trust was destroyed. So if Apex was leading the Judas Hunters, that could be hot hunter on hunter action.
So what if Apex was a plant all along? He was just,
That's
using some other abilities to get basically to draw this hunter community out just so that he could trap it and then make it turn on and devour itself.
that would make sense. That's from what you gentlemen have been saying. That would be my conclusion as well. There is one other thing that Mousetrap did mention with regards to the red moon. He did say, "Don't chase the red moon, chase the shadow that moves just before it."
Like the 11th hour.
I think I'm starting to understand. There's a
I'll
lot
bring
of
this one.
cryptic information on these boards, isn't there, gentlemen?
There is.
Quite a bit.
There's the unified. That was the unified response. Was interesting.
I know Kurt and I have had a couple theories too, but we're still maybe letting those brew, kind of waiting for more evidence to manifest. I don't want to get too far ahead of ourselves.
I understand the natural words. I understand the natural desire to proceed with caution. And while I am certainly open to this, what's happened recently has given me the closest clues, or the closest chance that I've got to solving the mystery of where my employer is. His disappearance is the whole point for my presence here in your country. I'm not sure playing the long game is something that I'm really able to do at this time.
And Shivers, where did you?
It would appear that my employer is in danger. I need to find it.
Shivers, they didn't. When you went to go see your friends at the Majestic, they didn't give you any ideas of like where he may have been last, or did they?
No, they were very vague on any actual geographic location. Only that the inference is that he took something that pertains to the safeguarding of the red moon, and has most likely fallen into the hands of those that would very much like to see the red moon shining.
And you said it was some sort of totem or juju bag or whatever they were using
They
as
wouldn't
kind of
give
like
me a definitive description of what the artifact that my employer took was, but only that it is essential to possibly even whether it may be simply be something like it may be a way of identifying these two surviving sentinels. I don't know. It's all speculation.
So really, I see we got two paths right now. We can either continue to investigate the Apex thing, which may or may not be related to the Blood Moon or Red Moon, or we can definitely help Chivers find his employer.
Well, they may be very much one and the same. We just don't see the path yet.
Absolutely.
I am beginning to wonder myself. Some of these things are starting to slot into place, aren't they?
Yes. Speaking of which, I may have a little bit more complexity to add to the situation.
Yeah, good.
Before you do, sorry, Mr. Watami, if I may interject, based on what we've been discussing here, is it not possible that the point and purpose of this cult of Apex, shall we call them, is to release the Red Moon? If the Red Moon is a harbinger or a portent of doom or the end of the world,
I am wondering.
what better way? What better way to absolve us of our fight than to remove the fight altogether,
Perhaps that's
i.e., the end of everything?
what he was building.
I've been trying to rack my brain to what purpose all of this activity, the Judas killers, all of this, what purpose it would serve. And it almost feels like this is the last clue here, isn't it? I don't know. Maybe I'm leaping ahead.
If hunters are the only ones probably equipped to deal with whatever might happen during the Red Moon, what better way to eliminate them off the board than to make them turn on each other?
Precisely.
Or to convert them, you know what I mean? Convert them to the cause.
Yes, join us or die.
What a wonderful thought. Right. Well, I understand your point of view, Chivers. Do you have any idea as to how to proceed with locating your erstwhile employer?
Alas, I do not. Everything has been very ephemeral, shall we say, in the way it has been communicated to me. I really feel like I've not so much taken 3 steps forward and 2 steps back, more taken a step forward and 2 steps sideways.
Yes. Yeah, it does seem that way, doesn't it?
But the Sandhill Indians have no objection to me relocating to the Majestic, so I have taken pains to do that. At least then, hopefully, over in what time that we have, I can build up some more trust with them, and they may decide to share more information with me.
Shivers, did your employer, did he stay at the Majestic also before he disappeared?
That was one of the things that I've been meaning to find out. As of yet, they do not trust me enough to allow me to look at their register.
Because that might be, we might find an actual clue if we're able to go into the room he stayed in. I mean, depending on how it got cleaned up, how tidy it was up. That's not even proper English, but how tidy their housemaids cleaned it up, their housekeeping service. There might be something there that might give us.
I expect nothing less. I expect nothing less from colonials.
How long has he been missing? How far behind are we? How cold has the trail gone?
At this point, 5 weeks. It was 3 weeks after he was missing that I was free to come to the States.
I see. That will make it a little bit more difficult, obviously. That's quite some time for the trail to have gone cold.
Exactly, and unfortunately, he didn't communicate where in Asbury that he was staying. This was information I gleaned from people once I arrived in America, when I followed up with his associates in New York.
Right.
Can you ask your buddies if he did actually stay at the Majestic?
Of course, I can certainly try.
Would they care if we snooped around the hotel a little bit?
I have informed them that I am not working alone, and they were receptive to others who fight the cause.
Okay, so that sounds like maybe yes then.
Maybe something good. Maybe something bad.
Isn't that what I just said? So.
Well, I mean, lacking other clues, perhaps this is a place to start.
I do have one other thing to add. When I don't know, the rest of our decisions are more or less met.
Please.
So,
continue.
I was curious about other findings. So over the course of the week, I did a little bit of my own exploration. I went up to Red Bank to Earth Spirit New Age Center, took a look there, and it was mostly the kind of stuff that you would see, crystals, that sort of thing. Not candles, not much to see there. But I did find another kind of supernatural shop nearby. And it was interesting. This shop had it was called Eldritch in Long Branch.
My mistake. Yeah, it was actually called Equinox.
Equinox in Long Branch. And the shop itself, again, was nothing too fancy, but there was a back shop, a hidden shop with kind of message in Futhark. And decoding the message, I was invited in to take a look. While there in the back room, again, there was a lot of occult, not so occult things, but there was one book in particular that caught my attention. And that book, in it, I saw a prophecy. The prophecy said, "Near the gates and within 2 cities, there will be scourges, the like of which was never seen. Famine within plague, and people put out by steel, crying to the great immortal God for relief." At first, this passage kind of caught me, and I hung on it for a moment. But then I saw something else. It's almost like it shifted in my eyes, and my senses kind of triggered, and I saw a different message.
Go on.
The message I saw was, the badge was never read, only hidden, pressed between floorboards where the chronicler of false bravery once slept. His home stands still, though his name was blown away with the sea wind. Look where the heat forgets to burn. I put it in our
Discord.
message, just in case you need to review it or the words.
Fascinating. I'll also make sure I do the same with the messages that I received from Mousetrap. There was a few more things really that, again, are slowly starting to fall into place with what we've been discussing so far this evening. When I first messaged him, or in my response to his initial message, I made it very clear that my interest in the Red Moon was to prevent it ever coming to pass. To which he responded, then if that was in my intention, is to stop looking for a door and start looking at watching the locks. The ones pushing for a red moon aren't going to light a flare. They'll look like us. They are us. And if you ask too many questions in the wrong way, they'll test you to see what side you really stand on. Some tests you don't come back from. Start by watching who's too helpful, who's organizing, who's uniting the ununitable. Hunters don't rally without blood debts or family funerals, not unless someone's playing a long game. I think what we all suspect is true. These are not isolated incidents. This is all part of the same puzzle.
Agreed.
I'm curious to know, you've obviously done more research into the incidents or the events at Club Abyss. Did those events happen to coincide with the tropical storm?
No, that was early 2007. It coincides with
The board
not
reset.
long after the board being wiped and hunters seeming to disappear.
Okay.
Can I ask a question about the board reset? With the board reset, does it look like after that point, all of the hunter registration numbers are after a certain number, or do we still see numbers continuing that are before that number?
The numbers are always in an order, so it's first come, first serve, and you get a new
Yep.
number.
But I guess what I'm asking is, after 2007, did we see like numbers 1 through 500 purged, no longer posting of those, or do the old numbers continue?
There were some times where people would post older ones, some newer ones. Yeah, nothing particularly suspicious about it, except that, yeah, just fewer and fewer people. There was a lot of, this is where you started seeing a lot of arguments, name calling, curses, like,
Gotcha.
yeah.
But not like everybody had to re-register.
No, that
Okay.
didn't happen. Yeah, it's still the same exact hunter.net.
Okay.
Right. Yep. Gosh. Right. That second part of the prophecy that you read, Ken, that seems very specific.
It does.
It doesn't
Yeah.
look, Ken, the first prophecy, don't forget, is a Nostradamus prophecy. It was in a book about Nostradamus, some of his prophecies. But the rewording seems like that was the messengers giving you a clue. Not that the original prophecy isn't a thing, but that there's something hidden in there.
The badge was never red, only hidden.
And by red, he means the color red.
Mm-hmm.
Pressed between the
Like the red
floorboards,
moon.
where the chronicler of false bravery once slept. His home stands still, though his name has blown away with the sea wind. Look where heat forgets to burn.
I put it in the chat here.
Oh, thank you.
Welcome.
The chronicler of false bravery, that may be a reference to Apex, if he's been trying to create a cult around himself.
I could see that.
Gathering people to his banner, if you like, for false
Everyone
purposes.
may make one memory roll. I don't know how you would do that. How would you make a roll to remember something?
You could do it as a straight up intelligence roll.
Okay.
Could I do maybe intelligence intuition?
You can.
Intuition, yeah, that would be a good one. That would be, yeah. Because I have my elephantine memory, can I say that these will explode?
Yeah, why the hell not? Actually, Shivers,
No, all I
you
need to
don't
do
get
is
a
roll
roll.
10. Okay.
You're the only one who doesn't get a roll. I apologize. Only because you're not a native. 2?
I got 4 successes.
4 successes. Chris, what'd you get? Just curious.
Two successes. What I'm trying to think.
Uh-oh.
Oh, I would love it if you could.
I'm trying to.
I want you to log
Trying
off
to-
and log back on.
You sound like a robot.
Yeah.
You do sound like a Dalek.
I'll bring you right back on.
Probably a good job. I would have got 5 successes.
Oh, man. Yeah, that would have done it. But yes, this is a local memory thing. All right. Talk to me, Chris.
Is that a little better?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'm just trying to figure out your riddles, man.
Mhm.
The entry, not the metagame it. It's like, because part of me was thinking like Edgar Allan Poe, because a lot of this is very similar to the Telltale part, but I don't know if
I
he lived in New Jersey.
can barely get what you're saying. Yeah. Is your
Probably
computer
something
updating
cool.
again? Every effing Friday.
No, this is the laptop. Shouldn't be having issues.
I don't know. Maybe somebody's watching Netflix. Yeah, I don't know what to tell you. It's hard to get what you're saying. I'm going to need more sign language out of you.
I think for now, just make the roll and put it in the chat if you need to.
Try now, Chris. Now I can't even see if he froze.
Hello.
There you go.
No, I tried
Oh,
turning
there we
off
go.
my
Yeah.
camera.
Go ahead, keep talking.
Is still okay? Okay. Blah 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 blah.
Yeah, it is actually much better.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was trying to remember if, because your clue sounds like a Edgar Allan Poe's Telltale Heart, but I don't know if he ever lived in New Jersey, because the part where it says the house still stands, but the name has been blown away by the sea wind. Maybe it's whoever the founder of Ocean Grove was, um, or of Asbury Park.
Having a 3 in academics, I can tell you that Edgar Allan Poe lived in New York, in the Bronx, and then in
Yes.
Baltimore. Although he did go to West Point.
Yeah, Virginia. Yeah, so it's not Poe.
Okay. Who got a better
You guys should know this.
result?
Your theatre in a different game is just up. It's just down the road from Poe's house in New York.
Go ahead, Chris.
Did anybody else have a better result for their memory?
Yeah, Ken had a halfway decent one. So the gates, Ken, you're immediately thinking that there are actually there's a gate in between two cities right where you're at. The gate that you need to enter through to get to Ocean Grove. And Ocean Grove is technically a part of Asbury Park, separated later, but it is still the same city. And there is the only other way to get into Ocean Grove is from the walking bridge from Asbury Park. So that seems to be a thing. After that, just think of some famous writer who probably lived in Asbury Park. I don't know. Maybe some of those names will actually come crashing in. And now's where academics can take a role if you don't want to.
If
Please.
I may, intelligence plus I've got 3 in academics, 4 in
I'll
intelligence.
give it a try.
No, only shivers.
Oh, right.
Oh.
Talk to me, Ken. Talk to me, Ken.
Stephen Crane, who wrote The Red Badge of Courage.
Yes. Stop rolling, Shivers. You're too loud. You're too
5,
loud,
6,
Shivers.
House.
Stop rolling. Exactly. Talk to me, Chris.
Okay, the Crane House, which might be on Cookman, or it might be actually on the same road as the Majestic,
Yeah, it's not too far
because
away.
I know the Historical Society of Ocean Grove is on the same road too, or it's
Yeah.
Bond Street. It might actually be
Yes.
Bond Street.
So the man who wrote The Red Badge of Courage, very famous book, and he wrote a bunch of other things, and he was elbow buddies with Mark Twain. And you figure Shivers would probably have read a great American novel or two. That's where he would come in. But since he's not an Asbury native or even a Monmouth County native, the other guys could have actually used their memory. Stephen Crane, who wrote Red Badge of Courage and other things, actually lived in Asbury Park on 4th Avenue, and that's where the Crane House, the Stephen Crane House, still stands.
Okay.
So the rest
We-
is just reading the rest of the clue. Not really a prophecy, but a clue. But hey, I guess you guys want to start making your way to the Stephen Crane House.
It seems like this is the place to be going. Yes, absolutely.
So we have to break up his floorboards in the house.
In this historical, built. Wow.
Where?
I'm not sure how I feel about this. Can we make sure we put them back pristine and exactly as they
I'll
were?
count
after
on
it's
you
done?
to do so.
Your only craftsman is away today. So you guys start walking, and it's getting late because most of you guys only have time. Please stop rolling dice or dropping dice on the table. Whoever's doing that, it's very loud with earphones. R.I.P. R.I.P. headphone users. What do you call it? So yeah, you guys start walking down there. It's starting to get late, and you figure the place isn't going to be open, but open to the public, right? Maybe there's a way to get it. Who knows? It's up to you guys. You guys are walking, you're talking, you're trying to figure out a bunch of things and whatnot. Yep, good enough. Kurt, you
Yes,
look to
sir.
the side and you see down the street there's a very big dog crossing the street.
Huh?
Excuse me. And it stops and it looks at you. You see its eyes glowing a sickly color in the moonlight. It stares
Oh,
and then it starts walking
discern.
again.
Discern.
Make an intuition roll.
Make an intuition roll. What?
Ooh.
Intelligence, wits?
Talk to Shivers. Mm.
Yeah, I think intuition's underneath
Hello?
intimidation.
Yeah, no, I know. I've got intuition. What's the other stat that goes with it?
Initiative.
Intelligence.
Roll an initiative.
Right. Okay. Yep. Right. That's right. There we go. And that's 1.
You turned your intuition on. You just didn't get there in time. So you start walking into Stephen Crane houses right in front of you guys. It is closed. There's no lights on, though. Doesn't seem like anybody actually lives there. Ooh, I'm getting somebody else contacting me.
Ooh.
Intriguing.
No, not somebody who's
I'm
somebody else.
So,
I'm sure Mr. Gaines will probably be better than me at this, but I do have a dot in security.
yeah,
Same
I have
here.
a couple
do
of
too.
dots.
Try and find.
I guess even though this is a antique building, we should still be able to see if there's any wiring, like if it looks like the doors are alarmed, because you might see wiring running up the length of the door jamb, or at least
What's
a
your
connector.
how many dots you got in security?
2.
All right, make a roll.
Okay. Am I adding like perception or anything to that?
I don't know. What do you think you should?
I think perception would be able to spot what I'm looking for. Security is there to understand or recognize what it is.
Absolutely.
Okay. Yay. Right. I got 3 successes, sir.
Okay. 3 successes is enough. There is an alarm on it.
Okay.
Boo.
You guys hear a scream coming from down the street. It's a guy screaming, "Oh!" like that.
Okay.
Think it was that
That-
dog?
Wondering. How far down the street?
I mean, it's between the echoes.
A
Nothing you can
distance then.
see, but
It sounds like somebody in
Yeah.
distress, though. I will head in that direction.
is anybody not
Independent,
heading in that direction?
I feel
Okay, so
Yeah. I'll go with
yes
him
or no?
too.
You
For-
go
Yeah, I'll
Yes.
go.
Oh, yep.
All right. I knew Shivers would go. He is, in fact, the defender. So, all right, starts heading down there, and you see a laundromat, a hole in the wall laundromat. They've got like 16 washers, 18 dryers. It's a little garbage place. It's nothing pristine like the Busy Bee. What do you call it? But you do see that there was something going on. There's a smashed, the door. It's smashed, and this place is open 24/7, so it is what it is. You guys start walking up closer to see what's going on. Holy shit! This guy will not stop. Okay, listen, people at home. I am not a millennial. I am an adult. I think that your generation calls it a grown ass man. Yeah. If you have something to send to me, to an email, a text, a Discord, a something, make a fucking paragraph. The last thing I want is 7 so far, besides the 2 I already seen. I'm going to say a sentence, and here's another sentence, and here's another sentence, and here's another sentence. No, write several paragraphs if you have to. Write it in letter format so I get one in my ear instead of we're at like 9 or 10 at this point, and he's still going. Corey, it's you. Anyway, call that mother fat head out. Anyway. All right, we're good now. It's just so confusing. It's like I can't even make it go away because then I can't hear you guys. Anyway. So yeah, what do you call it? You start going closer to the thing, and you see there's only one dryer going. No washers. It doesn't look like they're all up for the most part or whatever. There's only one dryer going, and it's one of the eye level ones, not one of the ones at the knee level. You guys start getting a little closer, little investigation. Who wants to be brave enough to investigate? Come on.
I'll investigate.
Shivers. You go walking up and you see that there's something in there and it's stuck. You open the door and the dryer slowly stops, and you come to realize that it's something that through heat fused to the dryer, the inside walls. And then you realize after a couple of moments through your shock of like, how could it be that? It's a severed arm.
I'll swallow back a bit of bile.
Barfy burps are the worst.
Yes. Yes, they are. Good Lord. Okay, my first thought then will be to look for something to put the arm in to get it out of public view.
Laundry bags, garbage. There's garbage bags. Yeah.
I will slip on my lovely white cotton gloves, so I'm not leaving any fingerprints. Extract it and pop it into a bag and cover it over. Is there a camera in here?
No, believe it or not.
All right, I'm looking around to see if I can spot the owner of the arm.
You do not find the owner of the arm, but you do see a door opening in the back, and these 1, 2, 3 absolutely grotesque creatures come walking out. I I almost wonder if I have a picture of sorts to show you guys.
I'd like to use my foresight.
It would be amazing.
Okay, make your roll. Boom.
1, 2,
Boom.
3.
Very Thulian, these things. You awesome. Boom.
Ooh.
Holy crapola! There's no need for discern on this one. I can tell there's something wrong with them.
They don't look healthy,
Yeah.
They're wearing their Sunday best.
or maybe too healthy.
It actually looks like there's.
I think
It
the
actually
appropriate
looks like
expression-
there's something demonic inside of what should be a human when you use your discern. Almost like they're possessed and metamorphized.
Okay.
Mm.
I believe the lower classes in my home country would say, I don't like yours much.
Nope. Don't like it. If
Don't like
nobody
it
else
one
is going to
bit.
do anything, I'm going to burden the hell out of these fellows.
Okay.
And I will do what I do, and I will grab my St. Christopher. Oh, sorry, am I still? Yeah, grab my St.
And I'll,
Christopher, and I will
And I'll say, baby,
gamble some conviction and throw up a
Okay.
ward.
Yeah, I'll be
say,
gambling
baby,
some
you got
conviction
real
too.
ugly.
Oh yeah.
I'll activate my cleave, bring out the knuckle dusters.
I got 4 successes.
Nice.
So hopefully, if it does work, it should hold them for 4 turns.
Okay.
Hammer time.
He has to say hammer time that to happen. And his screen name on hunter.net is legit, like too legit to quit. Too legit,
That's great.
too legit to quit. Yes, that's how the dance went. And of course the hammer time. Woo, woo. Break it down. Oh, uh-oh. Ah,
Kaboom! So I oh, hang on, I forgot I gambled 2 conviction on this as well, didn't I?
Mm.
So that's 6 successes on my ward, which puts me to 10 conviction. So I can put
nice.
something up.
Okay, so you both have a ward up.
No, I turned
No,
on my
no.
cleave.
Yeah,
Sorry.
not you. No, Kurt, yours isn't ward. It's
Burden. It means they're pinned to the spot
all 3 of
until
them.
if I can see all 3 in
Yeah.
one glance,
Yes, you can.
that's your call. Then
Okay.
yes, all 3.
Done. Okay, so they're burdened, they're warded, and they're about to get some knuckle dusters to the face, some spiritual knuckle dusters to the face. All right.
If I see they're burdened and they stop moving,
Mhm.
at that point I would move forward and use my pinpoint to try to get a good look at them and ascertain any weaknesses.
Okay, that'll have to be next round since
Sure.
this round was to activate your foresight.
All right.
But excellent. Chris, what would you like to do? You got them on both hands?
Yep, do it a Wolverine style, snickety snick. And I'll go in. I'll go in and attack the first one. I guess on the left hand side,
Okay.
and just see what we can do. Give them a double combo.
Are you going to do
see
2
here.
hits?
No. Just I meant because I don't think. I'll just go for 1 hit. Just see how that goes. Shivers with the not Shivers, Max. So with the gambling of the conviction, I just have to get a success, and then I'll get that point back, right?
Yeah, as long as you get a success, you retain anything that you gambled and gain an extra point.
Okay. I'm gonna gamble a point of conviction so that I can get the extra attack dice.
Okay.
And all right, so 3 successes. It's a hit, and then that makes the damage go up to. Two, 3, 4, 6 damage.
Damn.
Whoever
6
enemy number 1
aggravated
is.
damage. The one all the way on the left, you said, yeah?
Yeah.
I think he felt that one.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Shoot. So 6 rounds, Kurt?
4.
4 rounds, but 6 rounds for you, Shivers?
Yeah. Well, yes. Well, they
Oh,
needed
they need
to
to beat
beat
6.
6.
And as long as you're
on
concentrating, it's up.
on a. As long as I don't even need to concentrate. It's up for the scene. They get 1 roll to try and overcome it or to try and breach it. If they fail, they cannot breach it. If they want to try again, it costs them a point of
Interesting.
willpower to try.
And can they break yours, Kurt?
DM's cool, but I don't think so. I think as long as I keep maintaining the eye contact with them,
Okay.
they are pinned.
Done.
The distance they are kept from us is dependent on my rating and zeal. So they are 2 yards. Cannot come within 2 yards.
I'll just double check, make sure.
Yeah, please do. Okay. Yeah, they're actually just stuck there. So, Ken, you can do your thing.
Excellent. So I'll gamble conviction as well. I kind of step up as close as I can get. Not like
What's it called?
Pinpoint.
Okay.
So I'll go up close and I'll kind of just knowing they're locked in place. It's still a gamble, but I feel pretty secure about it. And I go up and I'm just looking at them, analyzing them, like checking out these weird features. And
Okay.
let's see, that'll be 5 successes.
So what does that do for you?
So it gives me a weakness, it gives me some lore, it gives me information about maybe where they nest or den, that sort of thing.
So you're looking at it and you're seeing inside of the mouth of this thing. It flickers like there's a light inside. And you realize that you're actually looking at the human soul still in here. These things are in fact possessed by some otherworldly demonic thing. And it's screaming to get out currently behind the eyes of this thing. Its spine glows red hot. You realize that this thing is barely held together. One powerful blow by a blunt item could actually paralyze it, even if only temporarily. One of the arms, mutated and bulbous, kind of pulses with a sickly yellow aura, and that's the source of its toxic bile attack. So, what do you call it? Targeting that limb, you realize could actually make the monster vomit itself into weakness. You understand?
Yes.
Okay.
I hear that and I kind of like look almost as if I saw a vision of what may play out, and I kind of like my head flashes, kind of flies back a little bit, and I hold it a second as my hunter sense all of this stuff is kind of triggering at once. And I sort of stagger back into Chiver's ward. And as I do, I say, Conrad, there's a human soul trapped in this thing. It has a weak spot on its back, its spine, but the arm, that gross tentacle, you see that pustule, that hitting that may also incapacitate the creature.
Okay, got it.
As
Hit the mucus arm or the back.
you were always in the ward space,
Okay.
and as you were kind of turning around to say this to him, something catches your eye, Ken, and across the street you see a wolf, and it's just kind of staring. And this is actually, you can tell this is a wolf. Wolves aren't native to Asbury.
Can I flip down my glasses?
Make an intuition roll.
Okay. And that's intelligence, intuition, or perception. I'm sorry.
That's right.
All right.
Initiative, I should say. Yeah.
I'll go ahead and spend willpower on that too.
Yeah, go ahead. You need to
So
at
I
least
was-
equal a 5.
I did not. That was only a 3.
Okay.
So I was just having a quick look. When you max out your conviction, it pays off. It cashes out immediately, so I can use that to increase the virtue by 1 dot. So if I may, I would like to increase my zeal
Done.
to 3,
About damn time.
which means that they now can't. Yeah, exactly. Which means my conviction drops to my creed minimum of 3, but they can now not come within 3 yards of me.
Okay. Interesting. One of them, the middle one, actually gets I apologize. I shouldn't have been coughing in there. How did that cough sound? Too loud or what?
I mean, it was a cough, but it wasn't super loud.
Okay, I'll try to remember to mute next time. Where is my mute? It is. Don't actually get coughing in you guys' ears anymore. I apologize, and to the people at home. Anyway, okay, done. The one in the middle actually gets thrown backwards, and you kind of stumble yourself because you feel your power increase, but it's like a stumbling block where it's like you could have accidentally shut it down, but you hold it together because the extra power, you weren't expecting it, and there is a wall here. Only the one in the middle was actually in front of the door. The other ones you can't tell if, because it's, whatever, if they got thrown against the wall or not, but you actually now made it so that they are fully within this thing. So it's a little bit different. It's like you're forcing them. What happens again if you form the ward with them being the center of it?
I think they breach automatically. Hold on, let me just.
Please read up on that. But the only reason why they, yeah, I know,
I'm doing
I know
it
you are.
right now.
The only reason I'm trying to just continue the story. So the only reason why they don't is because there is Kurt's thing on them also. The burden.
Yeah, it says if that happens, they breach automatically. So I will take a few
Gotcha.
steps
All right,
back.
excellent. So yeah, the one still gets thrown back.
I'm getting a bit
The
more of a
other
handle
two
of
are
this.
just kind of like they're frozen in place, and there's only but so far they could go.
Yeah, I figure I'm kind of getting used to the
Exactly.
nuances of this now. As soon as I see that guy throw back, I've been a bit too exuberant. I'll back up a bit and tell the guys just to back
Absolutely.
up to stay behind me.
Well, they can penetrate it, right? Yeah. So,
Oh,
no,
they
they're
can go
fine.
where they want, but if they
Yeah, they're
leave,
fine. All right. So, Chris, you can make another roll. Same guy.
Yeah, except I'll target the pustule arm this time.
Okay.
And I'm gonna also gamble another point of conviction.
Good man.
2, 2, 3, 4. Okay, that's good. So 4 successes.
So I imagine before when I had a zeal of 2, when I put up the big kite shield, there's maybe a kite shield in front of me and one here, but now there's one here as well. For each dot, it just adds another shield to the shield
Nice.
wall.
All right, another 6 damage.
Whew.
How does dodge work again properly? Does he get a free dodge during the same round or no? It's either dodge or an attack.
Yeah, I mean, certainly I know the way I
Stop,
run it,
stop.
and
I
I
just
kind
want
of
to know
think
the
as I mentioned it.
rules.
So dodge would be dex plus dodge, and any successes
Again,
that they take
sorry,
will take away
just
from
let me
his.
listen and so I can make it clear. Does he get to make a dodge in the same round that he does an attack?
Under the basic rules,
Okay,
no, it's
that's what I
either
thought.
or.
All right, Chris, you're going to take Conrad. You're going to take 2 points of damage from this bile.
Okay.
Blah, 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 blah.
All right, so I'm -1 now to everything. So I'm hurt. Can I soak with stamina, Max? I guess depending on what kind of damage it is.
Yeah, DM's call.
Is it lethal
no,
or aggravated?
Pretend you're the DM in this case. It's actually aggravated.
Okay.
That's what I was just looking
Then
up.
no.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm -1 then.
Yeah, and it's going to lead to a little bit more than just that, but we're not there yet. But this is actually like acid that's hitting you, and it hurts. It hurts something fierce. It's like where it hits you, it's like somebody took a blowtorch, an acetylene blowtorch to you for a couple of seconds. You're probably looking at second-degree burns at the very least, and you're pulling off clothes to get this thing off of you, to get the bile off of you.
Okay.
Bang.
But on a high point, I get an extra point of zeal because I crested the 10 conviction. with that
Nice. You're
gamble.
looking to do that, and I told you I was going to give you some things to attack in this
So
one.
now my zeal is 4, but I reset back to 4 starting zeal. I mean
Fine.
conviction rather. Okay.
Okay.
So how much I got?
Next round.
All right.
Who wants to do what with what?
The wolf took off, correct?
The wolf. Yeah, the wolf seems to have taken off.
So with them locked in place, and I see the poison and such, I'm going to take my baton out and try to go to the side and thwack that one in the spine, so I don't step in any acid or poison or what have you.
Okay, absolutely. Make your roll.
I'm
Mr.
assuming that's
Mitchell,
strength, right?
if I may make a suggestion.
Yes.
Right.
Mr.
I'll
Mitchell,
use,
if I may make a suggestion,
willpower.
sir, it may be efficacious to employ the treasure that we
I
found in
knew
our
there was
last
something I was
adventure.
forgetting.
The boomstick.
Right, so that's 4 successes.
4 successes. Okay, so it's 4 blunt damage. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Fantastic. You could see a streak of pain. Which one? This is the one on the right, right?
Whichever one Conrad was attacking.
Oh, okay. Okay. You see his knees buckle, although he's kind of forced back very unwillingly in his more upright position. Yeah, this hurt him really effing bad. Next.
I'm going to pull out the spear tip that we took last time and
Okay.
take a swing at probably the one in the middle.
The one in the middle is.
Or is that the one that got pushed back?
Yes. So
Oh.
you can take the one that they're already hitting or the one on the right.
Oh, maximize damage. Go for the one we were already hitting.
Okay.
I have 3 successes to hit.
Yeah,
So,
easily go for your damage.
So that's 2. The spear is it strength +1?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not a full spear.
Uh,
It's more like a pickaxe.
so unfortunately, I only do 2 points of ag damage.
Okay. Okay. That is, however, enough to kill this thing. You still have your discern on. The human
Yes.
being that was in there dies also. Yeah. So he actually falls to the ground. Not quickly either, because your discern is still on. What do you call it? The next one is there, and this is round 3. Who wants to do something?
I'm gonna
I'm I'm holding the line.
Okay.
I can't get any closer without pushing them back.
Bill,
So
I'm gonna
I'm
look for
making sure that my people are
I'm gonna
safe.
look for a fire extinguisher so that I can have a actual blunt weapon to use and just
Yeah,
charge that up.
you'll find a dead fire extinguisher, which you don't care because that's not what you're using. That's not the
Yeah, I
fire you're
just need
trying
it
to
as
put out
a
with
club.
it. I know. But yeah, I wanted to
But
give the good feel of Asbury back during the time. It's a discharged fire extinguisher.
and half of the washers don't work anyway in the laundromat.
Duh.
All right, can I?
Would I have enough reach to?
Okay,
Sorry,
hold on.
would I have enough reach to
Let
try?
Conrad finish his turn. He's
All right,
only
so
because
can
he's
I?
on a delay, so he can't. Yeah, if you're talking, he's still going to keep on talking because he's not going to catch on to you yet. All right, go on, Conrad.
All right, so will you? Can I attack this thing in the same round, or is
Yeah,
my round
absolutely.
looking for the?
Yeah, you
Okay,
grab and you could go ahead.
alrighty. So, well, you can. Let's see. Okay. I'm gonna keep adding, keep gambling conviction.
Okay.
Alright, and I'm gonna attack it in the back this time. The one in the the one in the middle.
The one in the middle is
Okay.
not there.
On the
He's-
left.
Unless you
Okay.
want to run into the back room to do it, and you can.
The whatever other one is in our
one
area,
on the
because you
right.
said we dropped the left
Good.
one, so I'll
Yeah,
the one on the right.
Okay,
I'll
just
get
making
behind
sure.
it and attack it in the back. Okay.
Okay.
So 2 successes. So it's gonna be this. All right, that's 4 damage.
Okay. It wants to drop. It wants to drop down to its knees from the pain. Go ahead, Chivers. What did you want to do?
I just wanted to ask: would I have reach to hit these things without affecting my zeal, my ward, if I use the severed arm?
Oh, we're talking. That's funny. It's you said 3 yards away, right?
Yeah, it's probably
You
not,
could
but I
throw
wanted to ask.
something. You should
No,
definitely get a
okay.
projectile weapon of sorts.
I should, yeah. In which case, then, as it's the only thing to hand, I will throw the arm.
Bounce off the thing. He was like, "Huh? Seriously?"
It's not going to be particularly good. It's strength, isn't it? So
Oh,
for
don't
throwing?
worry about it. You throw it, it's fine because you got to rip it out. There's the flesh peeling. It's really disgusting. Remember, it's actually fused. So yeah, it's ew.
Oof.
But you
Yeah.
eventually get and you half throw it, half drop it. So yeah. Kurt, before your turn, Ken, you get a really loud shout in your ears, but it's not in your ears. Um, uh, Separate the how do I do this? I should have thought about this in advance. Free the innocent with the salts.
I say, Conrad, the salt, and I'll use my foresight to see what would happen if I went up and poured some of the salt in the mouth of the one he just knocked down.
It would melt away and the human would be freed inside.
Okay. With that, I'll say I think we can free the innocent, and I'll step forward and do such.
Okay. You could do that in the same
Yeah,
round,
because
right?
I just see the vision and then I acted on it.
Yeah. Okay. Sure enough. He's looking, it's a guy, and he looks up, he's like, uh, ow! Like that. What the hell? And there's just this slime all around him. And he's looking at you, looking at it, looking around. It's Chris, Conrad, give me an initiative.
Okay. I got 3.
And your back was turned, bud. So I got 2 rolls above you. The first is the other monster who comes up behind you. But the second one that I'm going to say is even higher than that is the wolf that leaps and knocks this thing to the ground and starts growling and tearing into this thing. It's screaming terribly. And what do you call it? You guys are just like, that's a freaking wolf. It's a regular old wolf, whatever. But with your discern and with your glasses, it's a wolf that is shifting and changing a lot. It looks like 5 different forms, the wolf only being one of them. And it is terrifying.
I think it's lawful neutral.
You've
It's one of those
Private
lawyer
joke.
wolves.
Private joke. But yeah. So
So
you've never experienced terror like this before. But go on. What were you saying, Conrad?
So the wolf so this thing went to go hit me, the wolf basically jumped past me to attack it, and he's just tearing into it.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I back away slowly from the massacre.
Somebody
going
freaking
on.
do something.
I'm looking at
Oh.
these guys because I've just seen this thing, and it's like, as far as I'm concerned, is this another creature? Am I supposed to drive this off as well? What?
I'd like to use a foresight. I want to do a foresight to see what would happen. Like, is this wolf going to attack me if I go up and anoint the last body?
Anoint.
Yes,
You mean the
exactly.
salts? It's going to turn in fear and growl and then kind of back away.
I'll do it. I'll put that. I'm willing to take that risk. I'm a gambler, so I'll
Done.
move up and I will not try to push the wolf out of the way, but I'll move up next to the body and try to pour some of the salt in its mouth.
Perfectly fine. So, yeah, you didn't really even have to do that, but that works still. Yeah, exactly what I said happens. The slime melts away. The guy's laying on the ground. He's bitten up a bit on the face and the chest. He's hurting. He's what? Why? What the hell? He's freaked out. He's like moving away from the wolf. He's trying to like kick at it and move back and everything. He's completely freaked out at this point. Somebody needs to give him an old Sean Connery slap.
Shivers, I think
Wake him
we
out of
need
that.
a medic.
And the proper Brit, both in real life and in character, is more than happy to Sean Connery this guy. Oh, the sound effect and everything. Excellent. Okay.
Pull yourself together, sir. Where's your stiff upper lip?
Boom. So there you go. You guys have saved the day. You have one more dose of this salt left, Ken. And this seems really effing impressive. You seem to be able to banish demons or whatever the hell this thing was. Excuse me. With the salts, just by making contact with it. So, what do you guys want to do? I'll give you guys a minute or two.
Is the wolf still there or did it dash off?
Oh yeah, the wolf's there and it kind of backs off, but it's still there. It would actually have to run through you guys to get out. It's the position.
I'd like to use my pinpoint on the wolf just to understand it better.
Oh, okay.
I guess I got to roll for that, but
yes.
Let's see. Perception, vision.
While he's doing
And then I'll bid
that,
conviction.
I will.
Okay.
1, 2, 3, 4. 4 successes.
Okay. You see more than just a beast. It's taking forever for this thing to load, though. I'm using the AI to make the whole thing go
Cool.
faster to kind of supplement my lack of knowledge of the books. Okay. Shape, a massive, unnaturally muscular wolf near the size of a bear. No, it's not. It's a regular. Oh, but what you're seeing, its bones and sinew ripple with tension too perfect, like an apex predator sculpted by a god of war. Your visionary flair, you see threaded patterns of light underneath its fur, shifting scars of oath and war, pulsing with something ancient around its heart, a coil of silver blue flame, rhythmic and turbulent like a storm barely caged in flesh. Which sense are you?
Vision.
Okay, then that's what you got. Faint glyphs on the pattern of its fur. It looks really, really, really young in this regard. Ancient runes of tribe and deed that are meant to be put on this. This is why you see it to be so young. There's things missing. You're kind of seeing the future of this thing. Yeah. And yeah.
Do I see any sort of weaknesses or maybe like ideas about where its lair might be?
Layer, no, nothing like that. But yes, you do understand that it is weak to silver.
I was going to ask. I know it's only in appearance, but
But
because my shield is silver in color.
yeah, but not like this. You understand that trying to use silver against him in this form will not do anything to it.
And I keep that information to myself for now.
Good.
I thank the wolf.
Okay. It's kind of staring at you. It's like it's trying to do something. Anybody else? Kurt Shivers? Shivers Kurt?
The gentleman who was injured, I will move him out of the way and I will start attending to his wounds. If he has any levels of bashing damage, I can heal his greatest wound. If it's bashing, it'll cost me 1 conviction. If it's lethal, it'll cost me 2.
Okay.
So
yeah, just lethal.
Just lethal. Okay, so I'll spend 2 conviction, and depending on what health level he is on the track, that's how long it will take for that wound to heal. For me, equal to me. So, for example, if he's injured, that level will heal within 12 hours. 1 level of lethal.
Yeah.
So he'll be fully healed in 6 hours.
6 hours. Okay, good to know. All right. It's painful how it's stitching back together again, but after a moment, he realizes it's actually a good thing. He's like, what the hell? What the hell are you? What the hell are all you guys? Why is there a fucking wolf staring at me?
Do not distress yourself,
Conrad,
sir. Everything is fine.
Okay. Conrad, you are in pain. That bile effing hurts. This is not the kind of pain you've ever felt before. What do you call it?
You said
Go ahead.
the wolf would have to go through all of us the way we're lined up. I stand like to the side, so it makes a path that the wolf could actually go through.
I'll back away the same.
And then I'll
Good
kind of
I will.
job, boys. Good
I will
job.
look at these guys because my ward is still up.
Hold on.
Okay.
Somebody's clapping and walking up behind you.
Like into the laundry
Good
mat.
job, young pilgrims. I'm going to have to mute you guys if you keep on interrupting me. Young pilgrims, so young, so fresh. And look what you boys done. I'm downright proud of you all. You turn around. There are 4 men standing there. Excuse me, 3 men and a female. Anyway, one of them looks like a Marine, like wearing fatigues, the chick, and she is buff. Like she would make Ronda Rousey look average, you know? Think of like a Gina Carano, like that, like strong. Another guy, all dressed in black, knives all over him, right? As his jacket is open. There's another guy, almost looks like a samurai, except more urban decked out. And he carries 2 swords on him that he's loosening up and making it so that it's easily accessible. It's like they're walking out of a they're walking up to you, but they were obviously disguised normal, so that they would just pass amongst people. But now they're not interested in that anymore because it looks like a fight's about to brew. The main guy is really tall, almost looks like a Dolph Lundgren type character, and he is actually dressed like a priest. Think Johnny Mnemonic. Big gigantic pilgrim type hat on with the big buckle on it and everything. He's got the priestly collar. He says, "It is so nice to meet you guys. You just left a path for me like a candle burning." And he looks directly at you, Ken. "Thank you for making it so easy." "Hi, I'm Father Greylight. I'm here to kill all of you." Everybody roll initiative.
Holy crap.
Yeah.
Oh, thank goodness it came through for once. 4.
Let's see. Initiative is.
Wits plus alertness, difficulty 4.
Thank you.
That'll do it. So you got 4, Kurt?
Mm-hmm.
I got 3.
I got 3 also.
I'm going to spend a willpower.
Okay.
I got 3.
All right. Okay. That is the order in the private chat. Okay. So the Marine takes a step back and pulls out a spiked bat. Kurt, swinging at you.
I guess I'm going to dodge.
Good. Go for it.
Uh, 3.
That works. This bat was going to hit you, and you jumped back just in time. But you gave yourself a good amount of room. Conrad, you have a knife flying at you.
Roll for dodge.
Go for it.
2.
If I got 5 successes, what does that do?
hurts.
Chivers, help me out.
Well, on a thrown weapon,
Hold on. Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
it's extra successes are added to damage. It's a ranged attack.
Ooh. Okay, so 3 extra successes. Okay. You're going to take 4 points of damage from this knife. The knife was also poisoned. What does the poison do? I know I should have looked this up.
Depends on what type of
Hey,
poison.
let's just do a
it
basic
is.
generic
It's
poison.
normally it'll be a stamina roll, I think.
Okay.
And it might do damage over time, or it might reduce stats.
Gotcha. Oh, I like that. Okay, make a stamina roll, Conrad.
I don't know about Hunter. Do we get to soak damage in this or not?
Yeah, why not? As long as it's not
As long
aggravated.
as it's
I'd
not
imagine,
aggravated, yeah.
Okay.
So Conrad, you can try and soak some of that damage with your stamina.
Now, can the dice explode if I'm trying to soak damage, or just
Yeah.
a regular success?
Oh, only if you have like a 5 or above in your stamina.
Yeah. If you've got a specialization in soaking, then yes, but otherwise no.
All right,
He's
so
just dressed in palm olive. Marge, I soaked him.
all right, so 3 successes.
Okay, nice. Okay, so you pass. So you feel like there was poison on that, and you're just like, you dirty son of a gun. Shivers, you get a katana that swings right in front of you and misses.
Okay.
And then as he's doing that, he pulls out Zetoichi style, backwards, upside down, the wakizashi, the smaller sister sword to the katana. And
Mhm.
the wolf kind of, growls.
Okay. Does the blade look especially silver
Yes.
on the Wakasashi? Okay.
And I already know who Father Greylight is going after. He pulls out a longsword from his high collar. No, F that. Ugh. Pulls this puppy out. And he turns and he swings right at you there, Danny boy.
Okay. Yeah, I suppose I would try to
Oh,
dodge.
Danny boy. Go for it.
So let's see. 3. And I'll use a willpower because I think I probably need to.
Old school. More than 2 shakes and you're playing with
2
it.
successes.
2 successes. That willpower
Oh, I didn't
helps
count
you.
the willpower. So
Because
yeah,
other-
that's 3.
Oh, never mind. Okay, extra. Yeah, doesn't do anything extra that you get extra dodge rolls, right, guys?
No, it
Nothing.
just means I get
No.
1 success.
Okay. Okay. Your guys' turn. Kurt, you're first.
Oh boy. Okay. Well, I'm going to take a wild swing with that spear tip then. No, that's wrong. That's right. So I've got 2 successes to hit. Is he attempting to dodge?
No.
Okie dokie. So that.
And which one is going after you again? Sorry, there's only but so much I can write down.
It was the guy with the maul, the spiked maul.
Okay. The spiked bat.
Yeah, that's it. That's the bunny.
That was the chick. the
Ah,
marine.
right. Thank
Okay.
you. And I got 2 points of aggravated damage.
Sick. Okay. She screams really loud. The other people turn and look like, and they look back at your weapon. You dirty son of a bitch, like that.
Ah!
Okay. Kurt, Chivers, you're next.
Okay, so I'm assuming then, because these people appear to be within the boundaries of my ward, so I'm assuming they're mortal. So this guy can, I will throw my mean left hook, and I'll throw a willpower into trying to hit him as well.
With his new +1 to brawling.
So with the willpower, that's going to be 3 successes to hit, and that's going to be 1, 2. Oh, nice. So that's 3 levels of lethal damage, of bashing damage.
I was gonna say lethal.
Whoa.
What? What do you got glass on you? It's like kickboxer. All right, so
when I get to seal level 5, when I get defender level 5, then it becomes lethal.
really, your punch?
Yeah.
Okay then. So he goes Freddy Krueger on them. So yeah, good punch to the face. Is like, son of a bitch, brought a boxing glove to a sword fight. Conrad.
That's the problem with Americans. They're always overcompensating.
Damn.
You're not wrong.
How much? How many
wrong.
willpowers am I allowed to spend a turn?
One,
Just
right?
one?
Yeah, one.
Right. Well.
You can burn blood. Oh wait, wrong game.
No. All right. So it was the knife guy that was thinking he's machete, throwing all this stuff at me.
Yeah.
All right. Well, then I'm gonna do the old man Logan with the cleave the my punch knives and go to do like the double stab in his chest. And I'll spend
Okay.
the
So
willpower
you're gonna do
point.
2 attacks?
Well, how will that affect the roll, Max? If I try to hit him twice?
I don't think you can, because you've not got anything like celerity that would allow you to take multiple actions.
All right, then just one punch with the punch dagger then. But I'll spend a willpower.
You'd agree with that, what you said?
Yeah, I mean, you could theoretically split your dice pool, but every time you split your dice pool, you have to subtract a dice from the total pool, so everything gets smaller and smaller.
Yeah, I was gonna say, because I can make 2 attacks at the same time. I mean, they don't even have to be facing the same direction, but I'm like really good at it.
All right,
So
I'm gonna gamble
how cocky you feeling?
conviction.
2 conviction, okay.
I'm gonna gamble
And a willpower, right?
and a willpower. So that's at least 1 success. And then I'll do. All right, let me face.
So what's your total pool?
8 dice to hit.
8 dice minus 1, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So that's going to be max. Yes. Okay. So roll 4 and roll 3.
Okay, so we got 3 successes on the one attack and 2 successes on the other attack. So 5 altogether.
He did it. Give me all the damage.
Okay.
The crazy bastard. He did it.
Get him, Steve Dave.
Remember, restomp the groin.
All right. Just give me a second here.
And we got 20 minutes of gameplay left, boys.
All right, so 1, 2. Okay, so
I expect we'll all be dead in time.
all right, so the one attack's gonna do 6 damage, and the second one will be 7 damage.
Holy
7.
crap.
So 13
This guy
altogether, 12
goes
altogether.
down. He drops. He drops hard. Life force ebbing out of him. Ken, your turn.
All right. I'm gonna kind of feign, also sort of not feign, that I am afraid of this guy with the big sword. I have my baton out, but I'm kind of more holding it in front of me as a defensive thing than to attack. And I say, Conrad, a little help over here. But while I say that and I'm falling back, I'll intentionally position myself, putting that acid on the floor between me and the great sword guy.
Oh, nice. Okay, I see what you're doing. He looks down and he sees this. And he shouts out, "Cursed be he that doeth the work of the Lord deceitfully." Had to really play this one up. What do you call it? The wolf is
Oh
going to lean
yeah.
forward. Oh, Bell forgot? I didn't forget. But yeah, while he screams that out, the wolf actually bites him.
Right in the ground.
Oh man, he gets him good. He's because he's like reaching back and yelling like this, like he's got a Bible passage opened, and then the wolf bites him right on the arm. He's like, "Ah, foul beast!" And he turns and reflexively, boom, hits the wolf like broadside, not stabbing, but broadside, boom, and the wolf screams, like that. It's really bad, and I'm going to say it shivers. For some reason, your hand just instinctively goes to your medallion. What was it, St. Christopher? Yeah, instinctively goes to there.
Yeah.
One reason or another. I don't know. Maybe you figured it out. So, back to the top of the round. That was the move for Father Greylight. So, Ken, you're saved. Let's see. Rosa is going to take another swing at Kurt.
Oh boy. Okay.
One success.
Which I dodge.
Oh, you are
With
going to
my
dodge it?
sword.
Okay,
Yeah, I'm
Done.
going to split my dice pool and dodge it.
that's fine. Maccabee. The sword guy is going after Shivers, right? Yeah.
Yes.
You know what? He's going to turn from you and take the wakizashi and raise his hand up like this. And he's got the sword in this hand, but he's going to kind of, reinforce his hand and try and come like this against the wolf. Yeah. As he does that, oh, really? It's not loud?
Oh dear.
That pisses me off. Oh, it's supposed to be an actual wolf sound. Well, what's the fucking point of that then? Oh, shut up. Nobody likes you. Nobody likes this stupid thing, but two of these things, two full, giant, scary tell me when you see it.
Yikes.
Yeah. Two of
Wow.
those pop out and they kill, bite right into the Marine and the samurai guy. The knife guy is already dead. Father Greylight turns. Smite the hip and the thigh and swings broadly with his sword and then turns tail and just books as fast as he can. What do you call it? The two other guys are being torn to pieces. Their screams of pure pain and terror turn into gurgles and turn into whimpers and then turn into silence. and these things are still gnawing at them. The other wolf is hurt, and it starts trying to walk outside. It brushes past your leg, Conrad, to get outside. And the two wolves, they kind of stop. They realize that their prey is dead, and they start walking outside also. And what do you call it? The the regular wolf, not the two werewolves. The regular wolf, it's kind of laying there, and one of the two wolves puts its hand on the on the regular wolf, and the wolf starts to turn back into a human form. Um, he's naked and he's hurt, but the other the one, the big werewolf with his hand on him, is trying to heal. It's like he's saying something, and it's not in a regular language, and it feels like it's all curses that this thing is saying, but it seems to be peaceful at the same time, and it seems to be easing the pain of this now man, this wolf that just became man. And he sits up, and Conrad, you recognize this to be Connor.
Oh shit. I kind of drop down to my knee and hug him.
The other wolf that was not hugging, kind of like this, but the one that has his hand on him puts his hand out to stop him. You don't even notice. The other guys here do. And he looks up and he says, I found you, brother. The larger wolf, the larger werewolf, picks him up, and he says, try and turn, look at me, and become like me. And he looks up and he looks back at you, but he looks back at him, and he slowly turns into this big, gigantic werewolf form. And he looks back at you. What do you call it? The leader of this particular pack puts his hands on your brother, who doesn't look like your brother anymore. And then just there's a thing that's kind of passed between them. Almost seems like it was psychic if you didn't know better. And he looks back at you again, and he puts his head down and he runs with the other one. This one looks back, or is staring at you now, and he says, what's he say here? I wrote it down. I know he's your brother, but he must stay with us. Do you understand? And it's growling, and it's like fury, but you understand he's trying to be calm with you. He says, do you understand?
I do.
You are blood of the pact, and your brother is a child of two fires. Our rage and your binding. He must come with us. If he stays, he will burn the city down with his dreams. You too carry weight, Conrad Gaines. You are of the final two. You are known to us. He turns to start moving, and as he's turning into a regular wolf form, he's saying, we honor what you are, but the city is not yet ready for both of you. And he shifts and he runs off. Oh, this is the third fight. If you guys wanted to take it, you want to combat or you're good?
No, I think I basically at this moment, Connor kind of collapsed, stays on the ground because he's got 2 second-degree burns on his arms, and he's taking lethal damage. So I really can't even walk probably at this point.
As they run off,
That's
I'll hold up my hand as they run off because I was going to ask them about the red moon, but I'm assuming they've disappeared off into the night before I get the chance.
One of the dead people, dressed up in all sorts of crazy. They and they burned of a corrupted orange fire. For those of you using discern through glasses or otherwise,
Right.
they all have their things on them. If you want their things, you can take their things. That's
Absolutely.
fine. One of them also they also have their own burner phones. One of them actually has a saved contact on there that he was just texting. It says the next message will come through soon. ... And the saved contact name is Witness.
I see.
Loot the bodies.
We had to talk about this, Kurt.
Yeah, we did. We did. I had my suspicions, but, well, that seems to lay it out plainly, doesn't it?
It does also,
Sorry,
as the
Ken and Connor, did you think that I was just giving you the cache for free? I mean,
No.
So
No,
for
we-
anybody following at home, the candle was the reason why that cache last week didn't have to be guarded. As soon as they burnt the candle, it was a beacon that brought these other people over, these corrupted hunters, if you will, almost
hunters.
like,
Judas Killers.
oh, that's a good name for them.
Oh, funny,
Isn't
that.
it just?
I think
What a quinky dink.
Chivers is running on fumes in terms of conviction. This has been a lot for him. So unfortunately, I can't help Conrad in that sense, but I do have a dot in medicine. So as I've got my battle kit, I've got my my hamper with me. I will pull out some more ordinary medical supplies and try and treat him. But at the same time,
You've got burn gel. That helps a lot.
at the same time, I will also remind you, gentlemen, that what my contacts in the Sandhill Indians mentioned, that a lot of this concerns the last two sentinels.
Ooh.
Yeah, I heard that too.
I think, Mr. Gaines, you and your brother have more to play in this drama than we otherwise, or rather than we first believed.
Ken isn't the only one with high destiny.
I'll be looting the bodies, but also looking for anything that looks like it might be medicinal for Conrad's situation.
Nice.
Like a stim pack.
It's back to
Back to
you guys want to play Star Wars.
Yeah.
I mean, those weapons might be a good idea to at least take those if you're not going to take anything else.
yes, yeah, absolutely.
There is a silver wakizashi, so a short version of a katana, shorter than this. Rosa, the Latina former Marine, she's got the spiked bat. Doesn't seem anything special about there. She's also got a couple of flame grenades on her too. You could tell right away as soon as you pull it, they're incendiary.
Okay.
I'll
take those.
The one guy who Chris doesn't like right now has 7 more knives on him, and they are throwing knives that you can still use up close if you want. And in the little scabbard, the little sheath, there's actually a coating of poison, and it's just a standard contact poison. It will cause stats to be reduced if somebody's affected by poison. Yeah, that.
I did make a roll. I got 1 success on my medicine roll, so I can at least alleviate some of his pain.
Okay.
I think we'd also want to search the rest of the laundromat, see if maybe we have some idea how these people became possessed.
Mm,
Good
nice.
point.
In fact,
Do you
speaking of
have
which,
anything on them specifically?
the humans, the normal humans who are possessed.
What happened to them during all of this?
Oh, they ran.
Yeah, right.
But there's also a dead body here. Actually, there's the 4 hunters, the 3 hunters, and the regular old human,
And a severed arm.
and a severed arm. Man, you guys.
It was used as a boomerang or some sort.
You may want to clean the scene, Shivers.
I was actually going to suggest, as I'm sure our time is limited here, perhaps it may be prudent to take fingerprints from everybody, anything that we want, and leave the scene.
I'd agree that's most prudent.
We can maybe move them into a back alley behind the laundromat and put them in a dumpster.
Could do.
Anything else?
Yeah, if we don't see any signs or clues in the laundromat as to like demonic possession or, maybe them being set up by these other hunters or what have you, then.
Oh, I will say that they were feeding. They were in that back room feeding on 2 more people. Excuse me. They're not even bones at this point. They were gnawing off on the bones.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, joy. This is just going to be brilliant for the police when they find this.
Can I, you said we're able to put a hunter's mark but only Ken learned how to put a phrase, right? Or
Correct.
a whole word?
No, a phrase. You can do a whole word.
Okay.
Ken can do a small phrase. Yes.
All right, then I will mark on the floor where we killed the 3 Judas killers, and I'll put vengeance as a hunter's mark.
And I'll put outside of the laundromat, Judas killers on the hunt.
All right.
Maybe with your ability, Mr. Watabi, as we now know the name of one of these Judas killers, we should include that in your sigil so others know not to trust this particular individual.
I'll put another one that says Father Greylight Betrayer.
I don't think that was the name he was suggesting.
Oh.
Actually, it was, but you may. But as a spark of information of inspiration from on high, we now know that witness cannot be trusted either.
I'll put do not trust the witness.
No witness, no echo. Shepherd made ash.
Somebody jotted down our treasure loot.
I've noted down the grenades.
I noted down the silver wakizashi.
Wakizashi. Yep.
And then we have a spiked bat if anybody wants to use it too. And a bunch of knives. 7 poisoned knives that can be thrown or...
You can get all 8 of them. One of them was thrown at you. You just pull it out.
He's like, I took it out of my shoulder.
The knives, yeah, they might come in handy, although the poison is not the weapon of a gentleman.
Though that might be nice if you've got your barrier up and still need to hit something.
Exactly, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah, it's a good idea.
I'll make a note of the knives then.
Okay. There's a bandolier for them, facing both directions, going across one shoulder.
I did a little bit of sword play as a kid, so this might be good for me.
It was actually lightsaber combat, but yeah. Still counts as fencing.
And you are Asian, so it's a little profiling, but maybe it is right that you get to Wakizashi. Sorry.
Yeah, specifically that name, Watanabe. That's Japanese. So
Yes, indeed.
this was my ancestral
My birthright.
blade, right? Yeah, I knew this guy. He's in my line.
My name's on the pommel.
How can this be?
Destiny.
What?
Chris is like,
Musashi? It's
Chris is like, Conrad. He's like, this blade has my name on it. The little knife
and my blood.
and my blood. All right, we're good.
He's like,
So, ladies and gentlemen, you who would not join the hunt when the call was made to you from your messengers, this is what it would have looked like.